Yeah, and, I was actually riding down to the start. I'm like, we might have to call this race off. It was so bad. Riding down there, and we actually got a little window that I think it was a little better. But yeah, pretty insane wind today. Shout out to whoever was holding the banner, because that must have not been easy to hold that up. It's probably like fourth going into the first corner, but right in there. And the guys that were in front of me all pushed out and I think went around. They thought the outside banner was the inside banner. You know, you really had to kind of remember to keep turning left around that start. So ducked under those guys and kept turning left. And then Cody Simpson, I think, actually got the whole shot through the banners and got around him pretty quick. Got into the lead there. Probably led for, I don't know, the first 10 miles or so. And I just got my butt kicked in the dunes. You know, we went in a straight line through the sand whoops for, I don't know, it seemed like half an hour at the time, but those things were relentless. Those boys were sending it.
Yeah, rough start, but we hit the dunes pretty quick, and I followed Wolfslayer, he's a local here, so had a couple little straight lines here and there, got past some guys, and put the hammer down. By like the 5th mile or so, it was Zane, Wolfslayer, me, or Zane, Wolfslayer, then Simpson on the YZ252 stroke, then me, and we're hammering down through the dunes and just all the flats and through the whoops, and it was pretty crazy at times because the wind's blowing so fast sideways. So it's like we're 10 feet away from each other, but the wind's clearing out before we're getting there, so you can still see it was kind of wild. Stuck behind Zane and David for a little bit watching, because we had like 20 miles of dunes that just sand whoops that ate the back alive. Absolutely rough, but followed them for about 20 or until Damon passed Zane. Then I put the hammer down and snuck up and passed Zane as well, and then got a little gift. Damon had some issues around like the 22-mile marker or so, and went around him there and put the hammer down, kind of regrouped a little bit, relaxed the back, got into the alternate pit, then hammered down in the trees, and felt pretty good today.
Made some attempts at Dante, but that was here and there. But we'd get there and he'd sprint away. We'd get there, he'd sprint away, which seems to be kind of how every race is going right now. But pretty good day.
I felt really good first loop. I really easy, and then second loop, once we got on top of these mountains over here, all the markings, because the wind was all blown down, and it was pretty hard to navigate, and there was a ton of virgin stuff, a bunch of new stuff that I've never ridden, nobody's ever ridden, so it was pretty hard to navigate, but if you just took your time, looked ahead, it was doable. So
I didn't get a good jump at all, and then I worked my way up through the pack, caught Dante in the dunes, and I was right up on him, and I was like, oh, my lower back is starting to feel it. And then kind of came into the alternate pit, and I'm like, man, I pushed it a little too hard in the sand dunes, like to get up to where I wanted to be. So it had to take me a long time to recover and like regroup, and then by then everyone was gone. So I just was riding by myself at that point.
Whole shot at the whole bomb on a YZ252 stroke, and not sure when that's been done. I'm pretty stoked on that. Just held her wide.
We hit that first alt loop, or alt pit, and lost my rear brake right after that. So it's kind of a tough day for me. Like I said, I didn't feel all that great today, and having no rear brake doesn't help. But I was able to kind of just keep motoring along and staying steady. I didn't have any crashes or anything today, so I had a fair bit of mistakes, but that's kind of to be expected when you're riding blind terrain with no rear brake.
honestly, I'm not really sure. I was trying not to look back at all. I was just trying to focus forward. And like I said, normally I'm somewhat better in the whoops than most, so I was just trying to use that to my advantage in the beginning and try to just put a charge on. And I think it worked out pretty well. I think I gained a gap just from that charge at the beginning alone. So for the most part, I was kind of by myself all day, like in terms of other women. But no, I mean, there were some A guys every once in a while. But yeah, no, it was a pretty lonely day.
I got a really good jump off the line, and then in that first corner, everyone went super wide, and I don't think anyone actually made it through most of the banners on the start. But it was just so dusty, so I feel like I kind of fell to the back a little bit there, and then tried to make up some time in the sand, but was just really struggling in all of the sand whoops. There was probably like 25 miles of just straight whoops, and it was...
That's what everyone's been saying.
Yeah, it was tough. I was not having the best time in the sand whoops, and then we got to the gas check and got out of the sand whoops, and I was doing a little bit better. But yeah, I was just struggling to put it together on that first loop.
The first loop was brutal. I honestly thought I didn't have the second loop in me. It was fun. I got into third right before the main pit, and then had pretty much clear air for the rest of the day, so that was good. I was in her dust for a lot of the day, and then one time I was like, how am I ever going to get around her? And she had actually gapped me a little bit. And then caught up to her and got around her, and I think she was right on me for quite a while because we came through the pits like together.
The first loop was nasty, it just beat you up, but then once we got into loop 2, it was pretty epic. We got into some looser, rocky uphills, some tighter single track here and there, and a lot of virgin stuff that was pretty sweet. And then way up, probably like a 75 mile marker, we were up on top of the mountains in complete virgin, and it felt like it was 50 mile an hour winds throwing us over. And had a little-ish battle with Zane right there. He got close, and I wasn't gonna have that, so I put the hammer down and got a little squirrely through there navigating. But epic day. Stoked. 4 in a row Hare and Hounds. Last year I think I was 4 in a row second places or something like that. So turning it around big time. Got to fine-tune the starts a little bit more because we're not getting any more rain this year, and it ain't fun starting in the back out here. Right. So fine-tune the starts and keep the hammer down.
Yeah, I think at the first alt pit I was actually about a minute down, and then I rode good right out of there. Caught Dalton, and Dalton caught Dante, so we tightened up there. Dante sprinted away again, and then I caught him, to probably 5 seconds at one point on the second loop. right on top of one of those ridges, way the heck up there. He had the advantage on me. I'm too tall. The wind was blowing me up there. He could sneak under it.
Yeah.
But no, he rode good up there on the top in the virgin stuff. And just managed to get a little gap on me again. So yeah, we just kind of yo-yo back and forth. I sprint, catch him, then he sprints away, and seems to just be happening every race.
Got out there, not the greatest start, but I feel really comfortable in the whoops and was able just to pin this 250 through all the whoops and made a bunch of passes, got myself in the 3rd overall, and then Zane got back by me. Me and him both passed Dalton. I settled in there and just rode my heart out the whole race. Just pushed as hard as I could everywhere and was able to get 3rd overall and first broke to 50, so it was a good day.
Definitely work on my starts. I gotta execute my starts because I haven't executed one all year, so I definitely need to get something better going on there. And I've been working on them now, but for some reason this time this bike didn't fire as fast as I would like it to. But other than that, is just keep training hard and getting my fitness better.
We ended up on this ridge up there in the mountains, and it was super windy, and then all the arrows were blowing off the stake, so you're just like looking at the stake. You're like hoping the arrow went straight, hoping it didn't turn, and yeah, it was definitely the wind didn't help with the navigation, but it did with the dust, so that was nice.
So it looked like you made up some places though on loop 2. Did you make a bunch of passes?
I just made one on Cody kind of towards the end. I think I passed Damon too. I think he had a bike problem of some sort, but other than that, I was kind of just out there on my lonesome. A little less enjoyable today with no rake, but I still had a blast and good time riding dirt bikes. Yeah, I saw you and I'm like, I gotta blast this thing for Adam. Look cool at least.
Well, you did good with no rear brake.
Yeah.
Dude. That was clutch.
Sand dunes was kind of gnarly at the beginning. Was not expecting that sandy, but after that, rode pretty good. Just cruised around. Never really feel like I don't know what it is about the Hare and Hounds. I never feel like I pushed hard enough at the beginning. I literally felt the best at like the last 20 miles. So I gotta figure that out.
Last year I got my butt kicked. I was probably like 6 minutes back at this round last year, so I was a little worried at the beginning. Just obviously it's hard not to think about the races from last year and what happened and all that. But I'm pretty solid at the moment, and everything's been working pretty well. So I kind of knew if I was able to go out there and ride like myself, I could probably get it done.
The second loop was way better. We got up into the trees, which was pretty fun, and yeah, we got all the way up on the mountain. It was so windy up there. It's like loose rocks, and then the wind was blowing you off the line. It was kind of cool, but it was kind of scary at the same time. Where we have like a few weeks off, just really try to build the endurance and just kind of work on that side of things, and I think that would help a lot in the whoops and kind of towards the end of the race. So I think if I can maybe dial that in a little bit, I think we'd be in a good spot.